Hello, I'm MPX Toycat and welcome back to one of my favourite crossovers that exists in the entire world because it is geography and Minecraft combined together to make an Earth-sized Minecraft server. These have become a lot more popular in the last few months because there's obviously SMPs on them, there's a lot of other servers, but there's still one server bigger than the rest which has a giant server using the Townie plugin across an entire Earth-sized map. It's really cool, it's called EarthMC, and although we used to have like some drama with the server way back when, there's even a petition like, Toycat, you shouldn't play the server, because some people agree that you should be able to show anything out there on the internet and you should be able to show off anything you like, and some people think that you should protect the communities by never showing off things like EarthMC in any form of video. It's a really interesting debate to have, but today, now that that's finally blown over, I wanted to go back to EarthMC and I wanted to talk about some of my favorite places in the world using EarthMC. We spawned in North Korea apparently. Every single area you see highlighted in blue right here is an area that someone has claimed to be their own land. This can line up perfectly with a real life geographic place like, I don't know, Alabama here for instance, or if you look on the west coast, you can see like Cascadia, which is actually a potential state, not a real state right now, but you start to see these sorts of places that line up with the real world because people can do whatever they want within their own plots. It's a really interesting server to see for a lot of reasons, and it's cool to see some of your favorite places, but inside of Minecraft, and that's what I wanted to do in today's video, although maybe we're not going to start with North Korea. Not admittedly one of my favorite places, the most democratic country, got democratic right in the name, but not my favorite place to be in the world. I mean, it's got those fun communist banners, which, as we all know, communism killed the cat, so we're going to watch out for that very much. Although, I do love the way they've set up North Korea and the way it's expanded since I was last here. But in today's video, we're actually going to be going through the smallest countries in the world, but inside of Minecraft. Because obviously the biggest and most notable countries in the world, like the North Koreas, but also like the US or the Russias or the UKs of the world, they're going to be claimed fairly easily because a lot of people, who play the game are going to go there and decide to settle down. They're pretty big areas on the map. It's hard not to get to them, but there's a lot of small countries which own very little land on Earth, like only a few thousand square kilometers or even just a few square kilometers itself, and because of that it means that there are some very small parts of the map which don't actually become very big in Minecraft. A country is huge even when you scale it down 1,000 times like they've done in North Korea. North Korea is still giant and absolutely massive as a country because it's massive in the real world, but there are some tiny countries in the real world I wanted to go through in today's video, so that's exactly what we're doing. By the way, for real here, this North Korea is really impressive. Like, these people have really committed their bit of like, we are North Korea, we are a democratic People's Socialist Republic. They really stick to it, and you know what, you gotta give them credit for that. This is a pretty impressive land, but is it as impressive as the world's smallest country, the Vatican City, which is so small that it's arguably not a country in certain ways, because it was really just a, kind of a compromise with the fascists in Italy at the time. It's like, hey, we need you to accept us as a thing, rather than trying to claim you're a whole lot. Basically, it was like a compromise was giving them countryhood in exchange for not being able to criticize the fascists just before World War II. So it's so small that it's even debatably not a country, but what does it look like inside of Minecraft? By the way, even though you might think that Earth being scaled down 1,000 times makes it tiny, I've only just gone out of North Korea after quite a bit of walking, so it's a long journey to make our way over to the Vatican City from North Korea. Fun fact, that's how geography works. So here's me just out of North Korea, and over here is the Vatican City in Italy. So we have to go all the way across China or Russia. You know, are we taking the Transcontinental Railroad in Minecraft? I think we might just be, because there's something here that someone is going along. It's even got like some weird text in the desert. Yeah, there's clearly some form of railway going here. Isn't this cool, the level of detail that someone really has built some form of railroad across the China-Russian border? I think that's cool. Let's go get there. I mean, like, I think that's cool as heck, so let's go take advantage of it. Ooh, I'm learning a new skill. How fun. That actually is a really cool addition to the server. I don't have any real interest in the MCMMO mechanics mostly, but there's just a part of me that's like, I want to be level 2 now. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm so good at herbalism. I don't know what the benefits of herbalism would be, but I want them. Aha, we found... This isn't what I was looking for, but I did find an ice pathway going through the jungle, so if this helps me get where I need to go. In case you're curious, there's usually commands that can help you like teleport to at least the nation of an area. However, either the commands I used to use don't work anymore, or I forgot them, not sure which, but basically, okay, and there goes that plan. But basically, yeah, as a result, we're kind of doing this one on foot. But that's part of the fun, in my opinion, like walking across an entire territory, seeing what you end up in on the way, because it's like, where are we right now? We're in some form of town. Like, it's like a stopover town on this little ice boat pathway. What exactly is the point of this? Oh, it's one of the towns in the wilderness zone. It's outside of the jurisdiction of one of the places. That's pretty cool. We're in no man's land right now. Might as well get my herbalism up while I'm here, right? Might as well. I have legitimately no idea what herbalism will do for me, but it is providing me a little bit of entertainment while I walk across the wasteland. The cool thing about this server too is just how many like interesting builds you'll pass in the middle of nowhere when you look for them. Like, of course, people are going to be more gravitated towards making a house in Quebec or making a house in France or wherever else it might be. I don't know, I think French countries right there. But there's also a bunch of people who are interested in just like, you know what, I'm going to live off the land for a bit, find this niche little forest, and then build a giant thing here. And that's really cool, in my opinion. I have a long way to travel to get anywhere. This can't be the actual... I might need to look up this command, okay? By the way, I find this absolutely crazy, so I have to share it with you. In the wiki, like the explanation for the history of the server, the current era is actually defined as when I made a brand new video, because the very first day of the new era is IBX Toycat makes a video about the server with an Earth map, brings dozens of new people into EarthMC. In fact, it wasn't even this server, just me making a video about an Earth server flooded this server, which led to server performance issues. So that is part of what led to the drama. But that's wacky, just while looking for the commands. I accidentally found that little bit of history. You can say what you like about my inability to know how commands work on county servers, but you can't criticize my herbalism skill, which I'm very, very good at, thank you very much. We're just going through the random wastelands of China. Okay, so I asked nicely if anyone could take me to their area, and I got teleported to what I think is Greenland, but I'm not really too sure. It is pretty magical here, though. You know what? We will get round to these smallest countries. This will be the most off-topic video, because I'm just so fascinated by Earth servers and the crazy things that are going on in every corner of this world. But yeah, let's check it out. Is Toycat some new sexual orientation or anything? It actually is. I'd make the I identify as a Toycat joke, but I don't really want to. So right now, I'm not in the capital of Greenland. I'm in Greenland's second biggest city, which is closer to my destination over in the Vatican City, which is in Italy, in case you're curious, than I was before, but still some distance away. Should we explore this place first? You know what? What is the point of list videos if you won't break the point of the list? No matter what random corner of the Earth you find yourself in, you'll find more development, it seems, sometimes in the EarthMC universe than you will in the real part of it. I'm convinced there are more houses in this town here than there are in real life. Okay, I'm finally on my way to Italy. We're going past the islands of Corsica, if I'm not mistaken, which is a French territory. And then to the south of that, I want to say it's Sardinia. The islands in the south of Europe get a bit confusing to me, but again, it's kind of cool, the random little infrastructure we're seeing right here, including a giant statue of some form. But again, we're on the way to the Vatican. This video is going to stay, and it's going to have some point that isn't just, oh my god, this is always such a fun time to come back. So, welcome to the smallest countries in the world. Did you know the Vatican City is such a small country that most airports are bigger than it? In fact, any airport that could support any commercial plane would need to be bigger than the Vatican City, which is why it is a country with no direct flights, or train service, or really bus service. You have to walk in. Also, they have the highest concentration of popes in anywhere in the world. Fun fact. Okay, we're finally almost there. I can give you my fun facts in person soon. I'm worried about this guy coming towards me, though. So this right here is Rome. It's a place that has clearly been, modeled on like kind of an old school kind of aesthetic as opposed to a modern one. That's kind of cool. Again, this is a server. You can do whatever you want, including have pig spawners if you really want to. But yeah, this is this is Rome. It's clearly going for an old style rather than building the modern city. And if we look closely inside here, we should find the Vatican City. Except here's the interesting thing about the Vatican City: because this is a 1:1000 scale Minecraft server, every country exists except the Vatican City. If it was going to be a Minecraft city, would be about 1 block wide. If you wanted to have a scale version of the Vatican, it would look something like less than this grass block. However, this isn't to scale or perfectly accurate, so it seems as though they've made some attempt at building the Sistine Chapel over here, but it looks like it's being griefed at some point, or they're in the process of destroying it. It's kind of interesting, because on this server, to be able to, actually do things in different areas, you need to... Oh, this is wilderness, so to be able to do things in different areas, you usually need permissions, but it's the wilderness, so I guess someone decided, we'll build a nice castle out here, right out in the wilderness, and we'll just hope that no one wants to destroy the Holy Lands that badly. But, as it turns out, religious crusades are a big thing in Minecraft. I'm learning that for the first time now too. Moving up next, we've got the second smallest country in the world, because the Vatican City, it's barely a country. It's so small you can't even represent it in Minecraft. You know, the legality of it, the fact that the Pope is like a constitutional monarch of it, you know, it's like barely a country in every definition of the word. But you know what is a country? Monaco. Monaco is actually the smallest country on Earth I've been to, because it's the second smallest, and I haven't been to the Vatican yet. And yeah, Monaco is a real wild time. It's a really nice country, I'd say, for a lot of reasons. It even has a helipad. It has it has the racetrack that you're all probably familiar with, and it's just a very interesting laid out city-state that is, again, one of the richest in the world because of the way the numbers are a bit distorted. But still, Monaco is a place I have been, and seeing it inside Minecraft is impressive because this looks exactly like the Monaco that I saw. Like right over here, if I'm not mistaken, up this hill, there's a McDonald's with an amazing view of actually the racetrack as well as other stuff like that. I don't know how there's a McDonald's with a view of one of the biggest race circuits of the F1 Cup, but somehow that's a thing that exists. I guess the McDonald's is still a work in progress. But yeah, it's a very interesting little city-state for a billion different reasons. And apparently, because the owner was actually, he just invited me to come stay in his little town, apparently this is one that they're trying to recreate exactly like Monaco itself. They're renting out apartments if you want to join them, so that's a thing that exists. And it's really cool to see stuff like the Monte Carlo, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that is in fact the Monte Carlo Casino. I went in there once and then it looked too fancy, so I walked immediately out of it. Oh look, he even told me Monte Carlo Casino. It's really cool to be in a place that you've been in real life. It was wildly hot, so I was like sweating to death, but in real life, I don't have to sweat here in Minecraft because I can just enjoy it this way. Again, cool thing the server allows you to do. It's like Google Street View, but like, oh, and there's even a map. But like, even cooler than that, I would say. And yeah, we can get a feel for what else is going around here. Like, ooh, we can go into the famous cafe over there, or we can go a little bit to the left and we can see some more giant high-rise apartments, because even the tiniest of apartments in Monaco, like a studio flat, is like $1 million, because it's a tax haven, basically. Fun fact. That's why a lot of rich people will live in Monte Carlo, because, you know what, if you can, might as well save all that tax money, am I right? Oh, this is a cathedral I've been to in real life as well. Again, cool to see this inside of Minecraft. And oh, it's actually, rather than using actual stained glass, it's using like concrete. I actually really like the way this cathedral's laid out. It's nicer than the Sistine Chapel or whatever that was in the Vatican City. So I'm going to go ahead and say this right here, better than, you know, the Vatican City. You know, if you want to live in a micro-state inside of Minecraft, Monaco has got you covered. Because look at the views from opposite this as well. You can see, this one's actually more of a work in progress. It's proof that these things don't just happen and people aren't just creating them in overnight. These people are playing survival and are slowly making huge things happening. Survival with stores and stuff, admittedly. But like, still, the fact that this is happening on this scale and the people are this passionate about making it, that's something I just love to see and can't quite get over. Also, how is this working like a stair? Do I have auto jump on? There's like a fence below the carpet so that you can walk on it, even though, like, it looks like it's a stair, like, they're normal jumps, but because there's staircases, it's crazy. Also, Paris is full with new things like the Palace of Luxembourg and the Louvre. Ooh. Looks like Monaco is doing a bit of advertising for Paris today. Also, there's an embassy of Russia. Okay, this blows my mind. Some of the states have embassies in each other's countries. This is the level of, sophistication this server is apparently taken on. But yeah, so this is the second smallest country in the world. I would argue it's the smallest country, but it's kind of a country by technicality. Again, to be a tax haven, to be a city-state. There is like a history of Monaco being separate, but you might not really like counting it because, like, well, I mean, the population's pretty small, the area's pretty small. It doesn't have any, you know, necessarily giantly unique cultural exports. You might make the argument Monaco's not a real country, and if you wanted to make that argument, what would the smallest country be? That would be this little nation right at the edge of the world over here called Nauru. It's the smallest non-city state, as in there is a capital town, it's arguably a city, and then there are other things on it in real life. However, inside Minecraft, it is literally this big. I don't think I can even physically get there because of how far away it is. It's just one guy who is like, I'm setting up a place on Nauru, I'm making my own little island and I'm calling it that. But you can see how even the smallest possible town that he could build is literally, you know, like 30 blocks across, and most of that is water. This is the size of the smallest country. It's pretty regrettably small, I think we can say. So if we don't want to count that, because, you know, for some reason we don't like that, what's the next smallest country? So since we can't spawn directly over to Singapore, which is where we're going, we had to teleport to the closest place that would let us in, which is Manado, and now we do a little bit of a boat ride around, and maybe we see what should be Jakarta, but is apparently Wilwatika on the way. So let's do that. You know what, I have to admit, I'm a sucker for infrastructure, and seeing a bridge this beautiful in Minecraft, that is cool. I have to cross this bridge. Doesn't even take me where I need to go. Just gonna avoid this little tree farm on the left, and there we go. That right there is a big, beautiful bridge. You know, why don't enough people have bridges this beautiful in their Minecraft worlds? It's not even like it's that, like, resource intensive. You can see it's just a few stacks of andesite in the thing, but, like, the look that it has, the kind of add to a city feel it gives, this is a cool little idea. You know, even if you don't like this server, you don't intend to join it, because you're a Bedrock player or whatever, the ideas you can get from it, they're pretty cool in my opinion. Oh Jesus, it's scary trying to climb iron bars. It's like a tightrope. If you just imagine you're not walking a tightrope, I think you'd do a lot better for a job. Whee! That was dumb. Do you guys think maybe I should have just got on the ice pathway? Nah. Do you think there's some market and just background footage of me just boating around in EarthMC? If there isn't, there should be. Okay, so right now I'm here in what is Ketapang, a part of the one of the Borneo Island things, and I need to be just over there. I accidentally took a wrong turn. However, something that made me stop and be like, wait, where am I? Is if you look right here, you can see how, one, there's the guy from the map, hello Esto Joe, but two, there's this cute little imperial lion. Singapore is known for lions. There's actually just a funny little story, like Singapore was like often called like the name actually like comes from like Singapura, which is something sort of like the land of lions, but there was never any lions in Singapore, we can prove historically. So the theory is someone thought they saw a lion and we don't want to like we don't want to call them out on it, but basically yeah, someone saw a lion that didn't exist. Okay, I might have lost my boat also, so we're gonna craft another one right now. It's a little embarrassing, okay? We all do this from time to time. I will say, one of the cool details about this server is even the natural terrain before anyone's touched it, like these oceans right here, it does kind of change to match the parts of the world. So in Southeast Asia, we got these beautiful blue oceans and these fun little islands in between. It adds to the journey when you're looking around for Singapore, for instance. I was enjoying my little voyage across the ocean too much and I overshot Singapore, but I did go past this nice little island that belongs to no one. Although actually there's no island that belongs to no one just over here. Again, that's the cool thing. Some of these people are just unaffiliated, building things out in the middle of nowhere. And there's something beautiful about that. You can have rules if you want to, or you can not have rules. Okay, it's finally coming into view now. My favorite place on Earth. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I need this to be just on the record. I love Singapore beyond belief. It was my first Asian country I went to, and it's definitely still the best one. And even though their flag is a little bit lame, it's just red and white and a little thing in between. It's a bit of a weird flag for such a beautiful country. This is a country that I love in so many ways, and let me show you around it, but in Minecraft. I can't wait to see what this place is like. It's hard to get here, I'll admit, requires a boat journey or some magic nonsense. It's probably a command, I just don't know. I'm 99% sure you can't get here without a boat journey from somewhere else or an invite from the server, but this is you know, an absolutely wonderful... Oh, there's a registration center. Let me go register at the enchantment table. But yeah, it's really cool in my opinion that there is this this place where someone else loves Singapore as much as I have, because they built things like, oh yeah, that's the gardens by the bay. Wait, actually, let me show you an image in real life what they look like. Obviously, it's not a quite perfect representation, but with, you know, normal Minecraft blocks, it's pretty good. Like, at night, these things will, like, glow, and it's strange, whatever. It was one of the first wonders of Singapore I saw. I thought there was more, but this mostly is actually pretty small houses, and then a few things being destroyed. Some farmland, which isn't accurate. Singapore is such a small country that it's entirely urbanized now. It became a entirely, you know, just one city-state, which is pretty cool that way. But yeah, besides a few cool houses, and actually a pretty cool castle over there, Singapore is mostly uninhabited. You could join Singapore and make it actually good. This actually makes me sad because, like, Singapore is one of the greatest countries in real life that hasn't been built in Minecraft. But you know what? That reminds me that this Minecraft server, it is a Minecraft server. It's not a perfect recreation of real life, but you can make it more like one if you want to. Or we could go the opposite angle and be like, you know what? What if you don't like real life countries? What if you hate Singapore? You think they add to the neoliberalist capitalist boom that is killing... You know, whatever. Maybe you dislike Singapore. It's a hard thing to do. You have to stretch your reasoning pretty thin. But maybe you dislike Singapore. So there are places like Singapore, sure, but you can also join a place like New Roads, which looks suspiciously. Tell me if you see this, by the way. Like Castle, the battle minigame map from the old Minecraft console edition days. RIP, by the way. But it looks suspiciously like that. But it is a real place. I'm pretty certain. Probably in Greece, right? Either it's in Greece, this New Roads, or it's just a made-up place. I wonder which it is. Should we find out? So it actually turns out that we're here in Southeast Asia again, but we're actually in Papua New Guinea, which just over there is about to be the over here is one of the newest countries in the real world that's about to form, but it's formed here in Minecraft first. But yeah, let's show you around New Roads, shall we? Oh, it's a part of Micronesia. Things get really weird really fast on this server. Wait, train station in Cyprus. I'm so confused. You know, how is this you know, we're not going to question it. We're just going to say this is a colony. It's a part of Micronesia. It's big. It's grand, and it's proof that Minecraft is the game where you can do anything you want. No one can tell you what you can and cannot do, and it is beautiful when you look around and you see that on the scale that you do here. This is a server where, of course, there's lots of people doing lots of things. Some people are destructive. A lot of people might be destructive, but seeing that the net result for all of that is pretty positive, it's a reminder that you're not humans as a whole too. Even though there are so many humans out there who will drag you down, who will you know, do mostly negative things even. The truth is that as a species, as a whole, we do largely get things done. We make nice, cool things because the tendency to build is larger than the tendency to destroy. Even on a server where rules are fairly limited and enforced by pretty light doctrines, it still manages to work, and that's kind of nice. So yeah, I like this server a lot. I figured it's been a while. I wanted to check out EarthMC again, and I hope you all enjoyed this video where I did technically go around the 3 smallest countries. I just also, you know, there was a lot of other stuff in there, but you know, it was worth it in my opinion. Hope you all enjoyed this last hour and a half of EarthMC exploring I did. I definitely want to do this again, but in a more structured, reasoned way. Or maybe the exact opposite. Maybe we should just explore random countries, because there is a real beauty to it, right? There is a real intrigue to checking these places out. I don't know. Hope you all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all next time. This is a cool statue. Goodbye. Going on a voyage, gonna see what I see. Going on a voyage, and that's who I wanna be. I'm going on a boat ride, and if you think about it, I'm a rising tide. I'm going on my boat, and I don't wanna gloat, so I won't. It's my hit new single. Coming out soon.